Alright guys, welcome to the new Let's Play I'm going to be doing. If you watch the intro, or if you read the title, you'll know what this is. This is Robotrek, a game released in 1994 by Quintet and Ancient, and published by Enix. It is a very interesting game. I'll have to delete that. Oh, forgot the controls. Enter name. Enter name. But yes, for those of you who didn't watch the intro, basically we are Name, son of Dr. Akihabara, I think is his name. We live in the world of Quintinix, I believe it was called. And we live in the town of Rocco. We moved here with our father, who is an inventor, and we are trying to become an inventor ourselves. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ignore what our dad said, and we're instead going to do some searching. Because we could find some goodies that'll help. I think that's everything. Yeah, that should be it. And you can look at these books, but we can't do anything with them right now, so we'll go ahead and ignore them. Also, I thought this was funny. Product placement. Let's see, is there anything else? And I'll go down here later and explain what that is, but for now let's talk to Nagisa. Or however you say her name. Alright, so let's go north and pay our respects to the mayor, who lives in this giant building here. And one thing I will try to do is, I'm so used to just skipping through the text at my own speed, but I know you guys are trying to read it, so I'll try and be slower when it comes to going through the text prompts. Okay, so we've got the mayor here. Go ahead and talk to him real quick. Oh, Rococo, not Rocco. Oh well. Oop. Yes, we'll find out later we don't want to grow up to be as good as Dr. Einst, that is. Because as you can see, he's kind of a dick. Just kind of. And this is Rose, who is the mayor's assistant, who is a kind of a bitch. Let's see. And as we can see, the mayor is also kind of a dick. Hey, kid! Okay, so now that we're done paying our respects to the mayor, we'll go back home. Also, we talked to this guy. He says, you might want to take a dog with you. He really likes dogs. That is a trap. Don't do that. If you do that, the mayor gets very angry. And nothing really happens now that I think about it, but still, I've always avoided doing it. Talk to our dad here. Finished your visit. The robot book. Kurogane is the cat, by the way, as you will see in a moment. So yeah, when I said that we moved out here with our father, that wasn't exactly true. We moved out here with him, but he lives in a house that is away from this one, which I thought was kind of odd. Now we can make a robot. Alright, so we're gonna now go down here. I did see the mayor, you retard. Oh, scripted. I forgot about that. Okay, so now we can go down here. Reading and the like speaking with people will give you ideas. As you can see, the localization for this game wasn't the greatest. And the game in Japan was actually called Slapstick. And so it was supposed to be a very comical game. And a lot of the comedy, I think, got lost in translation, which is unfortunate. And this is one of the games that I honestly wish would be fan-translated. Because it's definitely a good game. It just needed some extra attention, I think. Also, it says choose a task from the commands at the top of the screen, but it doesn't explain what any of them are. So this here is for making items. We don't have any recipes, so we can't really make anything. Or not recipes, but blueprints or whatever. This is for combining items, and so like if we combine a cure and a clean, so basically a healing item and an antidote of sorts, we get a repair, which is like a phoenix down, but honestly we really never need to use those. This is for recycling, so we can select an item and get money for it, which is good if you have multiple of an item that you don't need. This is where we make robots, and as you can see, our dad was generous enough to give us 2,000 gold, which is exactly the amount we need to make a robot. And of course we have the 500 from earlier because we found it in that one place. Also, I thought it was funny that these little whatever they are, like dwarfs or something, they just live inside that machine, perfectly content. And we have our first robots, who we need a name for. And I actually meant to post a video asking for name suggestions, but I kind of forgot, and now I'm recording. So we'll go ahead and we'll name him... Frank. So yes, we have Frank the Robot. And this game is a little interesting because rather than your robots or your fighters, I guess, having just, you know, level ups and then they get a certain amount of points for every stat, you actually earn just a pool of points that you can put into different things. So to begin with, we're actually going to keep our energy kind of high, and we'll put 5 points into guard and 5 points into power. Because yeah, we don't have a lot of defense, we don't have a lot of attack, and because we don't have much defense, we need to have some health. Whoops. Yeah, and see, she explains it here. A robot's strength can be programmed. Yeah, whatever. Before we do that, I'll go ahead and explain these two options here. So this is maintenance. As you can see, our robot has, or Frank, has 14 out of 30 energy. So if we want to, we can pay 16 gold to restore his energy. That's essentially all that does. And this icon, the computer, is where we can allocate stat points. I meant to change the color. I'll just make them black for now. And then here we can choose, or we can set up skills. And basically what you do is you've got R, which is your sword or your right-handed weapon, L, which is your left-handed weapon, and X, which is your auxiliary, or I guess third weapon, which is the backpack he's wearing. And so you push, say, like RRL, and that'll show how much energy it uses. So basically 2/3 of our energy bar. And if we want to do that, we hit OK, and then we can name it. Unfortunately, there's not much room to name stuff. So let's do, just for the sake of having a skill. I'm probably not ever going to use it. But there we go. Now we have 1, 2, bang. I know that's kind of odd sounding, but oh well. Okay, so let's go show our dad our robot. You tested it earlier. And yes, basically what she does when you call her is she saves the game. So you have a very portable save point. And I would say you can save anywhere, but that's not necessarily true. There are certain areas where you can't. But because I'm going to try doing this game more legitimately, as in I'm not going to use save states as much as I possibly can, we are going to be relying on the transceiver for the most part. sound effect was awfully quiet for that very exaggerated reaction. Also, before we talk to him, we're going to go sneaking about and find some stuff. And this computer here just does the same thing the other computer did. Cut. Huh? And down here we have another workshop, but we don't need to use it. Okay, what? Oh, okay. It's like, how'd you get down here so fast? Anyways, let's talk to him. And yes, if you didn't watch the intro, hackers are the bad guys, essentially. They're the ones that took over and started creating androids to destroy everything. So yes, we now have a surprise horn, which is not our first item. Oh yes, I should probably go over the menu options. So this first icon is our backpack, basically. So it's where we can go to see what we have in terms of our equipment. And so like here, got the surprise horn, loud horn used to scare people and also to warn them. And the transceiver lets you network Nagisa if electrical currents are right. So that's an indication that it doesn't always work. I'll go ahead and keep the transceiver equipped for now. And because I'm weird, I'm going to try keeping all my special items down at the bottom. So yes, this is the status screen where we get the basic overview of everything. And as you can see here, Frank has his own inventory, but we don't have anything in terms of other equipment for him, so we can't really do anything here at the moment. This is where we can use our healing items, or we can rearrange our party, which honestly, I'm probably only going to have one robot unless you guys want me to have more robots. Because unfortunately, the other part about this game is that it's very easy. So, anyways, we have Cure, which restores the robot's energy. Clean, which is basically poison. Your robot gets rusted and he loses health every turn, or energy every turn. And then this last slot, hey, there's nothing there, is our repair, which basically, like I said, is a Phoenix down. If one of our robots dies, we can bring it back with a repair. But I'm not going to invest in a second robot, unless you guys want me to. So this is our actual status screen, where we can see how much experience we need to go to the next level, what we have equipped, how many points we can program. And flash item basically is how many, I guess, recipes we've learned, or how many items we can invent. So we haven't learned any at the moment, but we will pretty soon here. And Frank's status screen is just a general overview of everything. It shows his right and left attack power, his back power, how many spaces he can move, so 4. His guard is 5, evasion 0, blah blah blah. This just shows us our skills. We can't actually change any of them though, which is unfortunate. All of our programming has to be done at a invention lab, or whatever they're called. And here's our settings. So we have standard message speed, fast message speed. I'll leave it on standard so you can read it. That's actually one thing I forgot to change, is that it's by default set to monoroll, and I don't know why. and this exits. So yes, we have shown him our robots. That sounds much better in stereo. Inventions! No, I think we're good for now. And he is a little disappointed, but whatever. And the first time I played this, I didn't quite understand what he meant by that. But we find out what he means in a little while. Grunt. And now we see our first battle. So yes, we basically move on this little grid here, and then we can choose our options. Attack just lets us attack with any of our equipped items. Run lets us run our skills. We can guard, we can try to run away, or we can use a item from our inventory. So for now, we're actually just going to guard. And then stab him. And one thing you may have noticed is that this game doesn't have a very normal experience unit, I guess you could say. It uses megs of data instead of just normal experience, which I thought was interesting. No, you won't. Sprite, you run away. Already checked the mailbox. The timer in battles, basically, if you kill all of the enemies before the timer runs out, you'll get a certain amount of bonus experience, which may not seem like a lot. It's usually only like 0.2 or 0.3 megs of experience, but it can build up over time. So eventually, when our robot is stronger, we'll get to the point where we can beat guys very quickly. And here we overheard a conversation that there's a bunch of kids stuck or lost at the riverside. And he seems very excited to go and find them, which is a little creepy. Just a little creepy. So let's see, what do we want to do? Well, let's follow him. Nope. So in the forest here, we are going to find some new enemies. First of which is these guys, which are mushrooms. And of course we also have to fight some commanders as well. Another thing is that you can actually get items from these little capsules that are on the field. The only unfortunate thing is that sometimes you'll get bonus experience in those, which is usually about a meg of data. But if you don't kill the enemies before the timer runs out, you lose whatever the bonus was. So at the beginning here, I'm not going to get too many of them, and I'm actually going to go back to the lab and change something real quick. And yeah, experience isn't the only thing you can find in the capsules. You can also find cleans. You can find an item called Big Bomb, which is basically an item that hits everyone on the screen. Delete that. And you can also get, yeah, let's see on. Forgot what I was going to say. Oh, you can also get full heals. So basically, at the start of the battle, it'll recover your energy. And you can also, now that I think about it, get item equipment. Or item. Wait, what? Equipment levels up. I'm very incoherent today. Because one thing you'll notice is that... Let's see, let's go here. Yeah, as you can see, we have like sword 1 level 1, shot 1 level 1. Basically, each of these each of our weapons has a rank and it has a level. And so we can get like, say for instance, a sword 1 level 9 or a shot 2 level 4. Because 9 is the maximum level, and unfortunately it doesn't work where if you get to like sword 1 level 9, you can't go from sword 1 level 9 to sword 2 level 1. Unless you combine, and then you can combine specific items to upgrade to the next rank, but it doesn't just automatically level up to the next rank. So once you hit level 9, that weapon or item is done leveling up. Unfortunately, leveling up stuff costs money for the most part, because you have to be able to afford the materials to upgrade, so we're not going to do that at the beginning here. And you'll see why I put that slash skill at the top. And so we can do that. Basically just mash the, what is this, the A button, and we don't have to worry about scrolling down one to attack with the sword. Hey, level 2! And every time you level up, you get what is called portable. And basically, we can use the Inventor machine from outside. And it's funny, we can maintain our robots, we can do inventing, we can do combining, but we can't build robots, which I thought was odd, because inventing and combining uses the same machine that robots come out of. So why they did it that way, I'm not sure. I mean, it does make some sense, but you shouldn't be able to like build stuff and combine stuff if you don't have the machine either. So whatever. But we do have some more points to allocate, or a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do... why not? We'll do a few more power, a few more guard, and call it good. And I'll explain what those do. I should have explained those to begin with, but I'll explain what they do in a little bit here. Ah, yes, and that is one thing that can happen with those capsules, is that enemies can destroy them as well. So, if you want to collect any of them, you do have to be somewhat quick. Otherwise, enemies can and will destroy them. Let's see here. Oh, and one thing you'll have to let me know is if you want me to fast forward through fights. If you guys want me to, I can. Otherwise, I'll just go through them normally. Let's see what's in here. Oh, goodness. Yes, that is the other thing that can happen with capsules, is that sometimes they just explode. They usually don't deal very much damage, but they can explode. And yeah, as you can see in this first little section, the experience bonus is actually quite nice, because most of the enemies only give us, you know, 0.1 or 0.2 megs of data, but then we can get up to 0.4 bonus experience, so we can essentially triple the amount of experience that we've gotten, which is very, very handy. That's right in front of us, why not? Dang it. One thing that is kind of annoying is that there are some enemies, like this guy, who are invisible until you get close enough to them. So you may occasionally hear me rage a little bit at monsters that are hiding. Not because they're difficult or anything, just because they can be kind of annoying if they're placed in the right spots, I guess. And as you can see, the shot isn't very effective, so that's why for the most part I'm going to be sticking to the sword. Oh, and I guess I can show off what the bomb does, actually. Fire a bomb up in the air, and it comes down and hits them, but with rush birds, it's not very accurate, and also uses a lot of energy, so I'm going to, for the most part, refrain from using it. Just that way I can get more hits in. Or not. God damn. We're just not having luck with this guy. So we're actually going to, real quick, use a cure. There we go. And let's run past you. Murder this guy. I actually don't know how long this has been going, so I'm probably going to just, dang it, get a few more, or get into a few more fights. Probably just kill these other two robot guys. And then I'll head back to town and call it good for this episode. And one thing that's cool about this game is that attacking enemies from behind actually does do more damage to them. Ooh. We used a cure and we got one. And for those of you wondering about the capsules, they do kind of look like Pokeballs, don't they? A lot of people call this game a precursor to like the Pokemon games because the robots are actually stored in these capsules and they fight for you rather than you fighting yourself. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but it is interesting to think about. Yay, data! Ah, he didn't drop anything. Oh well. Take out this guy. And yeah, the way the timer works is you have 10 seconds for every enemy on the screen. So for the most part, if there's a capsule and there's 3 enemies, I'll usually go for the capsules. But if there's 1 enemy and 2 or 3 capsules, I'll usually just go for the enemy. Because, as you can suspect, there is usually not enough time to get a capsule and then kill the enemies. If you only have 10 seconds on the clock. Oh, got stuck around. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to town. I'll have to remember to set my timer next time. I guess I can just go here, actually. Well, no. What am I thinking? I want to go here because in our house we have these books. And what the Inventor's Friend books do is it teaches us how to make different items. And so as you can see, there's level 2 there, level 3, and then up here we have like 6, and level 24. And so basically, for every level you have, you can read a new Inventor's Friend book and learn a new thing to invent. And there's, I think, levels 2 through 30, and then it goes by every 10 levels after that, so 40, 50, 60, 70, and it stops, I believe, at level 80. I'll have to double check, though. Oh, whoops. To heal him, not to use the transceiver. And if we talk to her in person, we can actually just save in front of her. And she can also give us hints, but she's honestly not that helpful. So yeah, that'll be it for this episode. Next time what am I trying to say? Next time we'll go ahead and go to the river, and hopefully I'll be more coherent, because I'm having a lot of trouble talking today for some reason. So yes, see you then.